Hey, happy day, Sharon Horne-Ellstrom here, also known as Pajama Grandma, not in my pajamas today. Well, I might be partly in my pajamas, but you'll never know because I'm not in my pajamas. Uh, Naming things, thinking about naming things today. I did the 7-day Field of Favor challenge with Jason Fladian and Pedro, I can't remember his last name, it starts with a C, right before I got sick for the holidays. And that was all about really narrowing in on the group of people that you want to serve, that you can really do an awesome job for. And so as part of that, I chose the very underserved market of women 55 to 64. So women over 40 for the most part to 65, right? Why? Well, I'm smack dab in the middle of that 55 to 64 range, right? I am definitely a part of that target audience. Now, the challenge I have with that is I love that group. I want to help the group of people. I understand their problems and their, because I am one of them. I totally get what's going on in this phase of my life. And I'm not serving men 55 to 64. I'm serving women. My challenge is, what do I call us as an underserved, underappreciated, overworked segment of the market? How do I find us? What do I call us? I'm really struggling with the name. Now, I'm Pajama Grandma, right? So that's me. I absolutely love being a grandma. It just makes my heart sing. But not every woman 55 to 64 is a grandma. We might be moms, we might not be moms. We might be grandmas. And what I want to help with isn't necessarily grandchildren or child related. It's more a holistic approach. And I'm really having a hard time coming up with what is a name that describes that group. So if you have any ideas about naming women over 40, and I don't want to call us older women or old ladies or mature woman bosses or mature women or anything like that, none of that. And believe me, I've been brainstorming on this. It's a challenge to name things, but naming things is very important. I want something that we can identify with that makes us feel positive and powerful and empowered to really step out of situations that aren't empowering us and step into our own power and who we really are. I've, for about, I don't know, a couple of decades now, been really attracted to this being yourself belief and the solid foundation that creates in us. And that's why I've had the expression be loving, love being, be you for a couple of decades. I've used that. I used it as my tagline for a while, and then got heavy into business stuff and sort of fell away from that and personal development and being yourself. But I want to kind of roll back into that, and as part of that, I want to work with women, primarily in this 55 to 64 segment, and then it can go back to, that always has fringes on it, outliers, down to like 40 and up to like 90. I mean, my grandmother was 99 and almost 100. She was a month and a half short of being 100 years old. So women in each different decade have different challenges, but we also have a lot of the similar challenges throughout, just inherent in being women. So I'm looking for a name to describe a positive, empowering name that we can identify with for women, probably 55 to 64 range, right? So if you got any help for me there, would love it. Today's Supersize Your Business and just overall Facebook discussion was on the best of both worlds. And I want to help people to find their best of both worlds. I guess as I just thought about that, that's what I want to do. I really want to help women 55 to 64 to find the best world that they can, the best life that they can be living. And there's a lot of real challenges for women in my age group, and for women in general, but women in this particular age group for a lot of reasons. I did a bunch of research. I'm still feeling under the weather, but I did a bunch of research yesterday on this age group, and it was really interesting to confirm my thoughts and beliefs about the group and the segment statistically through scientific studies and research. There's a really interesting study that's been done since 1991. It's like a 23-year project on women in this age range and the results and the stressors that they experience and the biggest problems and challenges that they have. And the most interesting part of it, which I already knew, is that it isn't just one challenge or one event or one thing that stands out among everything else. It's the fact that they have multiple challenges simultaneously impacting their life that they have to deal with. And I'm a perfect example of that. In 2010, I had challenges not only on my personal relationship front, but with my kids, with my business partner, with another business, financially. I had more in my little red wagon than I could handle. And it wasn't any one thing that stood out above the rest. They were all super duper bad and stressful. And if someone would have asked me the survey questions back then, you know, what's your biggest challenge? I wouldn't have been able to pick one. I had like 5 to 7 that were big enough to crack almost anyone. And then when you compound them on top of each other, it was more than I could handle. And it created a massive physical challenge in me. So, best of both worlds. I like that expression. I like that a lot. I actually feel like I've kind of got the best of both worlds right now. I am able to live and work at home in my pajamas, and that's kind of awesome, right? To me, that's the best of both worlds. I get to hang out with my amazing little granddaughter because I can. I can create my life the way I want, and I can spend this year with her knowing that it's probably the only opportunity I would ever get to, because next year she'll start all-day kindergarten, and I won't be able to be there for her and be providing for her, which will open up other opportunities for me. But for right now, this is my choice and my priority. I get to have the best of both worlds. And there aren't very many times in our life where we feel like we get to do that. So I'm really enjoying it. Happy Every Day was about closed doors and open doors, which is, again, a great end of the year, beginning of the new year exercise to think about in just the year ahead, or the year gone by. Don't go back 1,000 years, or however old you are, and think about all the doors that have closed for you just in the last year. What doors closed for you, and what doors did you close intentionally? We have to remember that some doors we feel get closed on us and we miss an opportunity. Other doors we actually choose to close. Now, if I choose to close a door, doesn't that feel different than if a door gets slammed shut on me? Feels different to me. I don't know about you. And then tomorrow, of course, we'll talk about open doors. What doors has closing a door open for us? Because when one door closes, another door always opens. We are never short of opportunities. This world is full of infinite possibilities and infinite opportunities for each and every one of us. You know, marketers, guilty. We create this false sense of scarcity, and the world around us creates this false sense of lack and scarcity, and there's not enough. And we really truly live in this absolutely incredibly abundant universe where anything is possible, but we have to decide what we want. We have to choose what we want. I asked a question on social media the other day about what is the hardest question you've ever had to answer. And I think it was pretty far down the stream when I actually shared my hardest question that I've ever had to answer. And I honestly believe this is the hardest question for almost every human being. We might not admit it, we might not think so, and for some people, I suppose it's just automatic, but the true answer to the question, our internal being's answer to the question, what do I want, is probably the hardest question. But once you answer that question, anything is possible. It opens the floodgates to possibility of what you can and will achieve and create. But you have to decide and commit to what it is that you want. If you want a relationship, you have to decide, I want a committed relationship. And then the world opens up and you will go and find that committed relationship. If you say, I want to own my own business and commit to that, you can't change your mind every other day and say, well, maybe I want to own my own business, maybe I don't, maybe I do, maybe I don't. You have to decide and commit, I want to own my own business. I want to be a CEO. I want to make $1 million. I want to have a new car. Whatever it is you want, big or small. And I say, start out with something small, prove to yourself that you can do it, and then you can open the floodgates and say, okay, well, what do I really, really want? And then be honest with yourself. You don't have to tell anyone else. Just be honest with yourself. What do you really want? I want to change the world. I want to have a positive impact on the world. How many other people want to do that? Millions of people want to do that. So even though we think we're alone in what we want, we're never alone in what we want. That's why great ideas will simultaneously appear out in the world. Somebody will go forth with an invention only to find out that someone on the other side of the world has also launch the exact same type of invention. It's because we're all connected and there's universal knowledge and understanding, yada, yada, yada. Way too woo-woo for this discussion. So, open doors, closed doors, best of both worlds. I did announce on Instagram yesterday that I want to do the challenge, how to do challenges challenge, a 10-day how to do challenges challenge. And I think I might invite a couple of people, but I think I'm going to keep that a very small, very intimate group that just gives feedback on that. I don't feel like right now I want to do that as a challenge. I want to test it and see. I want to test it and edit it and improve it, and I really need an editor, hint, hint, or somebody that would listen to and watch and help me with that. I might contact one of my sisters, my oldest sister, and see if she wants to do that with me, and a couple other people, just for feedback and for improving it and making it a great little lead magnet product for myself. I think I mentioned that yesterday, but I think I want to do that versus I don't want to put it out there as a big challenge. I want to keep it, tight and close to my vest for right now, and then I'll launch it. Also was exploring and investigating a book idea that I've had for quite a while yesterday as well as part of my research. So might see that in the very near future as well. It's time I write a book that means something to me, because that is, to me, one of the quickest, easiest ways you can have a positive impact on the world is actually sharing what you know in the widest way possible. And nowadays, with all the different options and ways that you can publish, it's really selfish not to. So I can quit being lazy and I can just get it done. I think as I feel better, I'll have more energy for that. Anyway, that's all I've got today. If I can help you in any way, hit me up in the comments below. Otherwise, I am just chugging along, transitioning from offline to online world, and hopefully making the world a better place. Have an absolutely amazing day, and I will, of course, be with you tomorrow with day 706 of what I'm up to. Bye. Take care.